We are going to see the next part of your condition monitoring. So that next type of analysis. In last lecture, we have seen the vibration analysis. Now today we are going to see the oil analysis. That is second part. So in an engine or in any, the oil in your engine is a lifeblood. Similarly, in case of human being, your blood is your life. So in case of engine also, oil can be used as or can be represented as your engine's lifeblood, which can reveals its internal condition. So depending upon oil, it reveals the condition of your engine or of your machine. So that is called as oil analysis. Now, what is oil analysis? In case of our human health, so your human blood, while taking the test on human blood, that is medical test on blood, where we can know about our disease from our blood. Similarly, by doing the oil analysis, we can know or we can predict the health of engine by looking at what's in the oil. ऑइल मध्ये काय आहे, कोणत्या गोष्टी आहेत, त्या गोष्टींमुळे त्या अनालिसिस केल्यानंतर आपल्याला समजू शकतं की ते ऑइल कसं आहे, तुमचे इंजिनची कंडिशन काय आहे. जसं आपण ह्युमन ब्लड असते, त्या ब्लड मधून आपण फाइंड आउट करू शकतो की आपल्याला कोणत्या प्रकारचे रोग झालेत किंवा काय झाले. सिमिलरली बाय अनालिसिस ऑफ ऑइल आपण आपले इंजिनची कंडिशन, दॅट इज मशीनची कंडिशन मॉनिटर करू शकतो. नाउ ऑइल अनालिसिस इट इज अ क्विक and non-destructive testing. Now vibration analysis is generally, we can say it is also non-destructive testing, but there is direct contact between the instrument and your machine. But in case of oil analysis, this is quick and non-destructive type of testing. Now next one is, so what are the tests we can do after oiling? That is, in oil analysis we can test this testing like elemental analysis, that is also called as spectral analysis. Second one is particle counts, that is when there is wear, because of this wear there will be a particles, so that particle count we can measure. Next one is particle shape analysis. Next, parts per million, that is ppm distribution. Then ISO codes and ASTM candles. Then again next oil it is ferrography. Then oil chemistry, that is dielectric, TBN, TAN, oxidation, nitration, that all chemical composition of oil that can be analyzed. Next is water in oil. Then next test we can use, that is viscosity. And the last, that is the main, the test we are going to see, wear debris analysis, that is WDA, wear debris analysis. So this is the test we can use while oil analysis. So next one is, that is first analysis called as elemental analysis. So for example, this is one type of oil is there. So what type of elemental analysis is doing? So there are various types of elements, that is say aluminum, barium, boron. These all 23 to more than 23 elements are there. Then their symbol is given and the range, that is the range in ppm, that is aluminum range, all range is given. So this is our elemental analysis. So what type of elements are present in the oil? So that are the elemental analysis. Now, for example, there is one case study. So, for example, there is wear metal trends on F15, F100 engine. Now, in that, ours is given, reason, then ferrous analysis is given, all these elements, that is, for example, ferrous, aluminum, chromium, nitrium, titanium, and action. So, failure detected is based on increase in iron wear metal concentration. So, if we take, so wear that is iron wear metal concentration is 4, then it is increased to 11, 12, 12. So that increase in the iron wear metal concentration, which detects the failure of that, we can say, part or that failure. So that is nothing but the elemental analysis. So again, this is elemental analysis. Second one is particle count and shape analysis. So there are various types of shapes. So for example, there is cutting wear shape, then sliding wear shape, then fatigue wear shape, and non-metallic shape. So these are the various shapes of particle present in the oil. Now next one is particle counting. So there are various particle countings, that is less, greater than or equals to 2 micron, greater than or equals to 5 micron, 10 micron, 15, 25, 50, and 100 micron. So that count, that is particle counting, is denoted in another table or presented in another table. So depending upon this particle count and what is the shape of your particle, we can analyze the condition of the machine from the oil analysis. Next is ferrography. Ferrography is nothing but the ferrous particles. Now, the large particles, which is generally deposit at entry wire, where the magnetic pull is the weakest, they are slide down, and the smaller particle deposit along the slide. Because of that, there is a full magnetic strength. So this is the ferrography. There is a large particles also, small particle also, and other than non-ferrous particles deposit randomly across the slide. Now, because of ferrous particle, because of magnetic field, they are in one line. They are in one line, but non-ferrous particle, they are in randomly. So from ferrography, we can the we can separate out both ferrous particles and non-ferrous particles. Now next analysis is oil chemistry. So there are various, for example, there is engine, hydraulic, synthetic gas turbine, compression, gas turbine. Now the part that water is there, oxidation, then TAN, TBN, then allen fluid, antioxidant additives, anti-wear additives, nitration, sulfation, soot, and glycol. Now oil chemistry is nothing but in engine, these are present, that is these components, that is water is present, oxidation is present, TBN is present, anti-wear, all these components are present. Similarly, hydraulic, these 4 types of components are present: synthetic gas turbine 3, compressor 3, and gas turbine 3. So this is oil chemistry analysis. Now next one is wear debris analysis. So in that, the wear particles, that what is the size of that wear particles, the count of that wear particles, and all this analyzed by using a microscope. So that wear debris analysis can be done, and from that wear debris analysis, we can say that there will be a condition. So for example, the wear debris analysis like platelets. So 2-dimensional particle produced by metal to metal sliding. So if there is metal to metal sliding, then the two-dimensional particles, that is platelets, which having a size that is 1 to 50 micron is produced. Similarly, spirals. The spirals is similar in appearance to machine soft and are produced by harder surface abrating in a softer. If the harder surface is slide, or we can say uh, produce, the harder surface is get abrating to a softer surface, and because of that there will be a spiral, and the size of this spiral is up to 20 to 100 microns. Similarly, there will be a spherical shape of weir, and that spherical shape is having size of 1 to 5 micron. Now this spherical shape of weir is produced by bearing fatigue or by lubrication failure. Because of overheating of this bearing failure or because of lubrication failure, because of that there will be a overheating, and because of that overheating there will be a spherical particle generated, and these spherical particles having the size of 1 to 5 microns. Now the fourth type of shape in case of wear analysis, it is the chunky, which is produced by generally fatigue mechanism, and it having a 20 micron size. So this is wear debris analysis. Now another next type of the, we can say next type of machine condition monitoring technique, it is infrared thermography. So it is very well infrared thermography. So in that infrared thermography, it is a technique for producing a visible image of invisible. We have to produce visible image of invisible, which is invisible to eyes. The infrared thermography is a technique which produces the invisible thing that are visible. Now, infrared radiation emitted by objects due to their thermal condition, the amount of radiation emitted by an object increase with temperature. So, if temperature is increased, then the radiation of that emitted by that object is also increases. So, because of depending upon the radiation emitted, or because of increase in temperature, there will be a variation. That is, there is a temperature variation. So therefore, thermography allows to see the variation in the temperature. Now, for example, in first, there is temperature is very low. In second, there are various types of color variation, that is variation in temperature. So if color is say pink, the temperature is 20 to 24 degrees Celsius, and if there is color red, the temperature is 30 to 34. Similarly, there is a variation in the temperature. So this is now why thermography. So why this thermographic technique is needed? Because it is non-contact type of technique. There is a rapid, that is very less time is required for scanning of that thermographic image. Then the data can be recorded in different formats, and images produced are comprehensive as well as reliable. And what are the advantages? They are non-contact type, they are non-institutive, can work at a distance, fast and reliable, portable, and it having a convincing result. Now, the motto of thermal imaging, that is nothing but we have to see the image, then we can see the temperature. If we see the image, we can see the temperature. And see the temperature, see the problem. So depending upon temperature, we can see the problem of the thermal. So this is the thermal images. Now, for example, there is one wing of aeroplane. So thermal images showing water ingress, that is dark areas. So there is a dark areas which are provided, which are shown by a blue color, which are illustrated in section of aircraft. So that dark areas, it's showing there is a water ingress. So this is the one thermal image. This is another thermal image of say turbine. The Boeing 737 turbine shows heat pattern in the turbine. So highest जर heat pattern बघितला तुम्ही, that is highest, that is the golden color, that is in that part only. So that thermal image shows that distribution of heat pattern in the turbine. Similarly, there is a distribution of heat in the front wheel also. So thermal image providing by the camera shows there is no uneven wear or heating of this panel wheel. So if there is some red mark is there, then there will be a uneven wear or uneven heating. But in that case, in this condition, there is no uneven heating or wear. Next thermal image. So this is, for example, this is jet engine. So this jet engine having this variation of color, and because of this variation of color, there is variation in temperature. Similarly, we can use these thermal images in electrical applications also. So in case of switch gears, fuse boxes, cable runs, electrical connectors, insulation, or transformers. So all this application of thermal images, it can be seen in electrical also. For example, there is a fan. So there is also showing a thermal image of fan in which there is a variation of temperature. So temperature is highest in the blade of the fan. Next one is fuse box. Same. The fuse which are glowing, so that showing the highest temperature. Then similarly, electrical connection. So these thermal images are used for detection of corroded connection, then slack or as well as loose connection, connectors at high operating temperature, and some hotspots. So in electronics also that can be used, that is which overheated conductor on PCB. So that can be shown by that color. So shown variation in the color. Similarly in electric motor also, overheated motor bearing, that is over 80 degrees Celsius, the bearing housing gets overheated, and because of that overheating there may be some problem. So to avoid that overheating, we have to switch off the motor for some time, and after that we have to restart it. So depending upon thermal images also, we can see the variation in temperature, and that variation in temperature, it can be monitored. Similarly, electric motor, high voltage substation, then process plants. In process plant, what are the hot spots? What are the cold spots? Damaged or missing insulation? What is the level of the tank? So all that can be used, can be considered by using a thermal image only. Now next type of analysis in condition monitoring, it is the ultrasound analysis. What is ultrasound? Ultrasound, it is the low frequency sound waves which is ranges from 1.88 centimeter to 16.9 meter. So assuming the average hearing range, generally the average hearing range, it is 20 Hz to 20 kilohertz. Now there are two types of ultrasound, that is low frequency ultrasound and high frequency. Now high frequency ultrasound, which is ranges in size from 0.34 centimeter to 1.70, and assuming ultrasound high range, it is 20 kilohertz to 100 kilohertz. So low frequency range is 20 hertz to 20 kilohertz, and high frequency range is 20 kilohertz to 100 kilohertz. So this is all about ultrasound or sound. Now advantages of ultrasound techniques. So this is directional, locatable, it having multiple application. It can be utilization in all environment. Then there is early warning of failure indication, and that are also support other technologies. Now application groups, there may be, it can be used in leak detection such as compressed air, especially gases, where there is gases. So gas leak detection, it can be done by using ultrasound techniques. Similarly, vacuum, then steam traps or valves. Next one is, this ultrasound technique is also used in electrical inspection as well as mechanical inspection. Then ultrasound leak detectors. So which locates the leak in a machine or in a component. It also measures the leak. It also calculates the cost, and it also calculate the greenhouse gas emission reduction. So this all about ultrasonic leak detector. Now how leaks develop? That is fluid, liquid or gases. So for example, because of pressure, leak, that leak is developed, and because of volume, the leak is developed. Now that leak, it can be detected by ultrasonic leak detector machine. Similarly, if there are two wall, one wall is in good condition and another wall, it is in failure condition or in bad condition. So in good condition, the ultrasound, there is only 2 or 3 spike in first figure, but in case of second figure, there are number of spikes that indicates that this wall is, say, failure wall, or it can be failed. So that can be measured. Now similarly, we can get electrical inspection like switch gear, transformer, insulator, relays, breakers, all can done by using ultrasound. Similarly, electrical construction, then bearing inspections, it is also used in very effective when the speed is small. That is, we have to use the 3 type of testing which are performed in the bearings, which are, that is comparison between bearing in good condition and bearing in bad condition, that is faulty condition. Then the history, how that bearing from good condition to bad condition, how that trending is takes place, that can be done. Also a spectrum analysis, or we can say a octave analysis of that, that is sound analysis of that bearing, it can be also done. So this is the bearing inspection. Then the level of severity. So there are different types of levels based on your decibel sound. If the sound is 8 decibel, this, because of there is a lubrication. Then 12 decibel, there is a minor damage or microscopic faults. Then if the level increases up to 16 dB, or that is 16 decibel, then there will be a damage or visual faults. And after 35 plus decibel, the catastrophic failure imminent, it can be detected. So this is all about predictive maintenance. That is, various technologies are there. One technology cannot do everything. So we have to use different technology for different parts, for different investigation. So thank you.